I have to be honest, this is one of the hardest cars I've ever had to review. I've been sitting here for far too long reading all the facts and figures, and by the numbers, this is the best Carrera S ever made. But you know what? Every time I get inside, I feel as though there's something missing. Compared to its predecessor, this is faster, it's better equipped, and yeah, it's definitely the better buy. However, the question I keep asking myself is whether I can forgive Porsche for downsizing its engine to appease some goddamn greenies in their bloody Priuses. You see, with ever-tightening emission regulations, even Porsche has had to forgo their legendary large-capacity flat sixes. Maybe I'm being overly dramatic, but even Porsche has had to adhere to the time and downsize its Carrera engines to a 3-litre twin-turbo 6-cylinder engine over the previous Carrera S's 3.8-litre naturally aspirated screamer. The benefits are everything, except that in setting a pair of turbochargers will always impact the sound. So that classic rasp that you're supposed to get with a 911 model is kind of no longer there. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't sound good. Actually, have a listen for yourself. It's just that it doesn't sound like the epic weight of the 911 history says it should. I also don't think it's loud enough, but I suspect for many 911 owners, that's always been part of the fly under the radar appeal. There's no rasp, there's no bark, and you know what? I have no motivation to go for redline because the now turbocharged engine does its best work in the potent mid-range. On the positive side of things, once you come to realize, or I suppose accept, the new 911 soundscape, you come to realize that this car is almost supernaturally good at everything it tries to do. With all the options on this car, it is near $300,000. I suppose you can think of it as an everyday supercar. And look, I've managed to fit a child seat in the back, and the practicality that brings, honestly, I cannot put that into words. Unlike some supercars, you can actually take the 911 to places like Coles because it won't scrape in the car park. And you know what? That shows the Clark Kent side of this car, Superman. Up front, I feel like I have the best of both worlds. The wow factor that you expect from a car in this price tag, but also the latest technology and trends that you usually don't get of a car in this super caliber. You get things like Apple CarPlay, which makes using the infotainment system, which I have to say is very fast on its own, just so much better. And also the ergonomics in this cabin are truly best in class. But let's be honest, you buy 911 because at some point you want to have some fun. And it's when the going gets good that this thing really becomes a road-eating monster. Oh, there's just so much grip. You can really push into corners, brake late, turn in, nice and simple, and away you go. It is just so well balanced. I'm going around some really twisty stuff here with massive corners. You just brake hard, you turn in, just feel that grip. See how much angle I've got on the wheel? And it just slides out a bit but comes right back at you. This is the 911, so if you lose it big time. But that's part of the charm of this car, and I really do love it for it. Oh man, there's just so much grip. Honestly, if you can't smile while driving this thing fast, there's something wrong with you. You need to see a shrink. You know what I think this car is? It's an everyday supercar. You can take it to the shops, you can even take the kids to school in it. But when your 2 p.m. meeting gets cancelled, come find an empty patch of twisty road and you can have some serious fun. Outside, the easiest way to tell the Series 2 991 911 apart from the car that it replaces are these exhaust vents on the rear bumper. You get one for each turbo. But I gotta be honest, I'm not a real fan of these centrally mounted exhausts. I much prefer the quad system they used to have, 2 on each side. And yes, you can still get that, but not if you option off the sports exhaust, and you certainly need that to get the proper oral experience. I guess the question that really needs answering is whether this new turbocharged Carrera is better than the naturally aspirated car it replaces. The answer is yes, it is absolutely the better car. It's faster, it's easier to drive at the limit, and it's more comfortable. But it's also more clinical, it's quieter, and it's more grown up. It doesn't give me goosebumps as it screams through a tunnel like it used to. And I kind of miss that. But you know what? I can forgive it because of everything else, it's that good. For many, buying a Porsche is a lifetime goal. The sort of reward you get for life success that is worth celebrating. And the 911 is the ultimate choice in the German stable. And if you can ignore its greener and now meaner heart, it's also the best.